that sets the agenda for young people to be expressive with their view, thoughts, activities, and how they affect the society. Join us every Tuesday from 5 to 6 p.m. for Youth Insight, only on KMTV. With me, your host, Zach Totiama Shemin. From the nation's capital inside Monrovia, this is Youth Insight, another edition. We'd like to welcome you wherever you are across our one global village. I'm Zach Totiama Shemin. I continuously becoming your host and presenter on this youth platform, and we care to bring out and uncover issues surrounding young people. How can we move forward to our societies, not just Liberia as a country, but the world at large? We care to also bring out issues of protest whatsoever, and we will be dwelling into the issue of protest. Today we saw aggrieved students marching to the Capitol Hill, to the legislature, as well as the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, specifically to the president, with a note of bill so far, and we care to bring a little bit of analysis. And with us, joining us is the Pro Change leaders of the Pro Change, and Pro Change is an organization based in Liberia. They care to talk about young people issue as well, providing leadership skill, lectures, and so forth. So they will be bringing us what is on their table as it stands. So again, we'd like to welcome you. This is Youth Inside. I'm Zach Totiama Shemin. We'll be right back right after this break.
Hi, I'm Prince Larmin Jarbo, founder of Project Change. As an organization, our mission is to groom self-sustaining youth to help rebuild a productive Liberia. We change the mindsets of the youth from one that says I cannot to one that believes I can. We're proud to sponsor the Youth Insight on KMTV, presented by Zach Sherman, because we also believe in creating a platform for the young people to voice themselves. If you would like to learn more about what we do and how we do it, and how you can join the movement, you can find us on Facebook or Instagram at Pro Change in Liberia. Or you can also visit our website at prochangeinliberia.org. That's PROCHANGEIN Liberia. Until next.
Welcome back. This is Youth Insight with me, Zach Totiama Shemin, and let's go strictly to our issue today. And we should establish this what we read on poll today with aggrieved students from the Monrovia Consolidated School System, where we saw aggrieved students marching on the principal streets, from the leg of the legislature, moving to the Capitol Hill, specifically the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And it was kind of this heightening to see a number of students moving to the street to express their own grievances on the line of being in solidarity with their teachers. Teachers are not being paid for over years that they mentioned. We're talking about 2, 3, about 4 years. 4 months. Let's get it right. They've not been paid, and it is very much something this heightening. And we saw aggrieved students, and we also saw the students getting up with that kind of an angle, moving to various private schools. From the fact that they are not in school, whereas others are in school, especially in Central Monrovia, like what we witnessed right beside or here at the SDA school. We saw the aggrieved students also coming up, and we should really say that this is something we are not yearning to see all of the time. We should see an environment where students will be able to go to school, and in doing that, the government should put their feet on the fire that it is their own responsibility, despite other shortcomings from the students as well, going to private school, a kind of evading private schools, thinking that because they are not in school, and whereas they are not in school, private students are in school, they thought it wise to march to those schools and get them out of the class so that they all can feel that how it takes to really be out of school. And we should say that it is obvious that when students are aggrieved, they should take the step, especially where they've come from a journey of being educated. Their parents spend most of their time making sure that they get a kind of resources they can get to go to school. So if the platform is not provided, if the avenue is not provided for them, whereas teachers are saying they cannot teach them or give them a text because they are not being taken pay for over months now. So it rings bell that if the government is not holding on to its responsibility, it has a greater reflection on the education system. As we all know, how it takes when other countries are far when it comes to educational matters, when it comes to the educational sector. We see other countries are far, and you see Liberia not really getting into that spirit of having a educated, youthful generation, and it was kind of really something we can just imagine that. Something very unexpected to see students coming up on the street, and to be frank, when we witnessed where the students were protesting, and we saw that going to the foreign affairs, especially to the president, maybe to express their grievance, and I mean, it was something we saw as something very important, and we must say that it was not something that the government, or let's say President George Weah, should have allowed or should have listened at least for minutes before getting any other action. But other than that, we saw police pushing up the students, and students' protest is not something you can just tell into because you feel it's just an ordinary protest. It is something that you have to listen to, because when students are aggrieved, when they are aggrieved, I mean, it signals something that the educational system has to be strengthened at a certain point in time. So let's take a clip on what we read on the floor today and bring a little bit of analysis before going to approach change on this presentation.
Inspector General. The students are expressing their views. They have issues. We as government, we must listen to them. Go back on the drawing board. We need to go back on the drawing board and see what we're doing wrong and get it right. For us to cut our salary, so we can put the money we cut, put it in the public schools, upgrade the standard, make it free, pay the teachers well. The students will be in the street. It's very easy.
So just a clip of what really happened today. I mean, it is somehow frustrating. Some of us, we walk in the area of protest. We head a protest, and we know why it takes when students are aggrieved. You as an administration, as a government, you need to put your feet down, because whatever students are coming up with, you have to give them that listening ears. I mean, it is not something that happens, I mean, all the time, or it's a usual habit. It's something that really sparked out today, and it was kind of unfortunate to see them on the street. So I really expected to have seen the government, President Weah, whosoever, to walk in today, talk to these students. What is unfolding? We can talk to you. We are talking to teachers. If there's any other thing that is going on, maybe you want to say because the students are grieved and our teachers are not being paid. So you can come up with an idea. Tell them in a short form and manner. Okay, we're working on modalities. I mean, just tell them what is behind the whole issue of teachers not being paid. I mean, explain to those students instead of really, police or bodyguards or whosoever behind the president, pushing out those students, and what made them aggrieved. And to the students too, we were not satisfied to the level of things we saw, where we saw them, going to private schools and building those private schools and, disrupting their normal activities. I think it was not really something satisfactory, despite their own grievances or despite their own, dissatisfaction under the fact that teachers are not being paid. We think it was somehow not good for our society, especially for the education system. But equally so, we must understand that government plays a very vital and major role in the lives and in the educational system of our country. So if there are things going on, and especially where you see the legs of students, high school students, students who are secondary, primary, and so forth, you need to put to feet and you need to come behind and make them understand what you guys are doing, instead of just allowing them to do anything and not responding to them. And at the end of the day, you want to have a little press conference and just explain. That would be late. The time those students took off to get to you, you could take that time to talk to them as well, instead of allowing them to multiply their anger and get to the street. Whereas, the unfortunate part of that, they too try to invade private schools, whereas even read our next door, the SDA High School was one of the schools, victimized, where the throw stones at the schools, destroy some of their windows and some of their properties, and they even had 3 students wounded. Where they took them to hospital. And I was also able to talk to the vice president of administration there at the school. Let's just listen to him.
By the time we enter the 4th period, unprovoked attack. We don't know what went wrong. Unprovoked attack. Rocks from all over the building. You see my office, you see shattered windows. Okay, I had to leave the office because we didn't know what was going on. We had started following social media, posts that government students were actually protesting, but we had no prior idea that this protest was targeting certain, private schools. We didn't know that. And what ran to my mind was to rush to the principal. It was about the safety of people's children they have entrusted us with. And it was very difficult to control them because all of them were going helter-skelter, chaos all around the building. They wanted to know what was happening. And those guys burst our iron gate, open. What they used, I don't know. I was not monitoring. We were in the building trying to get the students out of the classroom. The first floor, the second floor, we got window glasses. Most of those window glasses are shattered. Okay, those are a lot of expensive. I don't know the cost attached because I'm just from the clinic. We have several of them, but the key ones, the major ones, were 3.
You don't have a specific number?
Yeah, I can't speak to a specific number, but we had 3 major ones that we saw oozing with blood, and we could do nothing but rush them to the hospital, the AME clinic right on Camp Johnson Road. There was one, blood oozing from the head.
Do you have another
point? We can go to court. What, as a local school administration, all we can do, we've already informed our Department of Education, and we're going to shut down schools. We can risk, because we called the police. There were officers from the side watching. If the police cannot help us, I am vice principal. I also who are being hurt this morning. I have protected students when you had missiles of rocks coming from all angles. So we're going to shut down schools. We've informed the department. We've informed the department for Abandesa. From what we've gone through today, we'll communicate with parents until the government can give us assurance of security. Because government has to secure. Or who came and said because you are out of school, we also should be out of school. I don't think the way to do that was to begin stoning and begin to threaten our students. Any of our students who have died this morning, like the 3 I took to the clinic, one Samuel Duble, he was badly injured. Okay, I even.
That's the vice president for administration at the SD, that's the 7th-day Adventist High School. Read beside or here talking about how students were wounded after public school students, specifically from the MCSS, invaded their campus, destroyed some of their things, wounded some students, and it even led into some expenses where the school administration had to take other students to clinics or hospitals. I mean, something we would not want to see. It's a scene of dark days. That's which we would never want to see. Whereas even as far as the school has gone, at the level of closure for all of its schools in Montserrat, because they want to say that with this, they want to have a safe environment. They want government giving that assurance that they are in a safe environment, that they can be safe, so that the next whatsoever protest, or they will not be terrorized. Let's use that word. I mean, invaded or embarrassed by other schools, students who are aggrieved, especially from the public sector. So we want to say that from the side of the students, it was very much wrong to have gone to other private schools, invading them, disturbing them, embarrassing. You just address the issue. You just continue your fight. And to the government, we must say that we are very much angry. And for me, I would say I'm angry because I'm a student. I comes from the legs of being a student, even from my days, and we know how it is when students take on protests. We know how angry students can be. So if you are there and want to ignore the sensational part of students and not get into the reality and being very much sensitive to the plight of students, I want to say it's very much unfortunate. I think the government have to really work on it. We didn't just plan to really come up with this kind of a talk, but when we see something going wrong, we need to come up. That's what makes our students and that's what makes up people of issues, people who are not just sit and just not discuss issues. And let's close up on this issue of the protest, and hope that we will give more talking, analysis and provide more information on what really unfold. And you can join us this evening on our news broadcast as well. But with our studio guests now, let's welcome them. I know some will say you're kind of talking more and more on the issue of protest because it's very much important. And Mr. Jabo, you are highly welcome as
well. Thank you very much, Zach Sherman, and thank you for highlighting the protest. I mean, your program is Youth Insight, and when the youth are dissatisfied, you got to talk about them. So thank you so much. But we are glad to be here to talk about our conference 2020.
Okay, that's good. And Madam, can you tell the people who you are? What's your name as well?
My name is Kobo M. Saleh. I'm the Public Affairs Officer of Project Change.
All right, we understand that Project Change has in its covered conference coming up, and they'll be telling us exactly what is in that covered, what they are doing, and how impactful those activities they are going to be doing in a couple of months is going to be to the generation, the youthful generation. Mr. Michael Jebo, he's the coordinator, as a country coordinator of Project Change. Again, can you tell us what brought about this idea of conference, and tell us exactly what's the name of the conference, and we'll be giving the public what you guys are going to be doing.
Thank you so much. The conference is referred to as Conference 2020, and we call it Conference 2020 because it's going to bring a lot of things to young people. Sorry. The goal of this project, the conference, is to equip young leaders and their organizations.
Okay.
So we are looking at equipping young leaders and their organizations during the conference in February 2020.
All right. You brought about bringing young people together. We saw it in a booklet. 3 persons, each organization. Talk about 20 organizations. Have you started your mobilization, and if yes, how has it been?
Well, let me ask Marshall Short, my Public Affairs Officer, because she deal with that, and they'll tell us in details what is going on. Yeah.
So what is going on at your level of your own public relation aspect?
Well, the process has been good so far. We have people applying, and most of them have been in line with the guidelines we set.
Okay.
So we have several organizations that have applied so far, because the deadline for the application will be the 30th of this month. So, but people have already started applying.
What's the actual, roadmap, or what are Liberians going to benefit when this issue of this conference come about in months to come?
In February of next year, 20 young youth organizations that are community-based will be the opportunity to learn about leadership qualities. Because when you are a leader, there must be some quality that should be formed in you. So Project Change will be providing those and those education to youth organizations. Project Change will be giving out grant and to 3 organizations that will be selected based on their presentation. And those grants will be used. It's like local organization is empowering local organizations. So this is what Project Change is doing. Will be doing in 2020 of February. We will be selecting 20 organizations out of those that are applying now. We have organizations that are applying outside Monserrado, and one thing that we have to make clear, those organizations that are applying from Bon County, Niba, you name it.
So you already started getting
people are applying on our website. The website is there. It's prochange.in-liberia.org. You go on that website, you will see our form. You go there, you apply. We have 3 kinds of membership. We have the primary membership, secondary membership to your organization. You can be a primary member, meaning that there are certain requirements you got to meet. You can be a secondary member, same requirement you got to meet, meaning that you don't have to be an official. You don't have to be the executive director, for example, the director, for example, the president, for example. You can be an ordinary member, making you secondary member to be part of the 3. So each organization will bring in 3 persons to represent them at that project, at that conference. All they are doing, they are coming to see how best they can present their project to be able to win that grant. We are giving grants, we'll be giving grants to 3 organizations during that conference to help them get strong, to help them join us in rebuilding Liberia.
So that means you guys, after maybe the forum, you're going to have a package, like you said, grant, giving it to them. And do you outline specifically when a grant should have been given them? Is there a specific things that they are going to be doing after the grant should have been given them?
Yeah, what we're going to do is that they're going to present to us the project.
So this issue of is it basically young people?
Young people. Young people. Because you know that I know that young people are left alone. You will be a visionary, very innovative. You form your organization, and to have funding for that organization very difficult. You bring that dream up.
So that's brought about your own innovation.
Yes. You get your dream, bring the dream up, and no one to aid you in achieving that dream. So Project Change is saying that let us invite young people. Let's hear from them what they get on the table. Let them bring it. They will take the best 3, help them to achieve their goal. But all we pray for is that our goal should be helping to make Liberia better.
All right, public relation officer. You've been in the area of maybe you want to give the information out. Have you anything in your cover? Maybe how you stressing out those issues that are in your cover, your informations, and to your fellow young people, especially about the program. Have they been receiving it? And if so, are you really doing things more so that they can come on board?
Yeah, we are publicizing the conference more because we want more people to apply, and we want the target to be met. We said the target is 20 organizations. That means that 60 persons. So we are targeting 60 young people. So they have been reaching out. A lot of organizations, some of them outside of Monserrado, some of them in Banga, Kakata, Magibi, they have been reaching out. So we see the excitement. They all want to be a part. They want to make their voices heard, because the conference includes a lot of things. They will be talking on leadership, sexual and gender-based violence. There will be topics on volunteerism and youth empowerment. So I mean, if the aim of establishing an organization is to empower youth, then this conference should be an opportunity for everyone to make.
So that means it has a whole package of everything is young people.
Yes, yes. It is a week long, right? So every day there is a different activity to be carried out. Like we have guest speakers throughout the program that will talk. We have like 3 guest speakers that will speak to them on different topics. Based on what they are specialized in. So
what are those things you people are really going to be talking about?
Well, we'll be talking about leadership qualities, corruption,
Okay. Well, firstly, let's deal with them bit by bit. You talk about leadership.
Yeah.
I mean, what area of leadership is it from the public sector, from the public sector, from the business environment? I mean, what specific area you guys are going to be looking at? Because when it comes to leadership, it's a wide range of area where you have people, whether a leader coming from a business area, coming from the public area, the private, institutionalizing. I mean, so forth.
Well, we are talking about youth-based organizations that is community related. Now, you have an organization in your community, for example, that try to fight against corruption.
Okay.
Now, you came to the conference in 2020, February. At that conference, you will be taught details about what corruption is. Because we Liberians, all we see about corruption is taking away public funds.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all that about corruption. There are more things that you will learn about corruption, and that will help our young people understand what corruption is. Because every day in Liberia, those all who frown on corruption stay clear of corruption.
Okay.
You went to the bank, and to get in the queue, because you have a corrupt mind, you don't want to get in the queue. You want to make your way to get to the first, to the top of that queue. That is corruption. So we are going to train them to understand in details what is meant by corruption.
Okay.
And we talk about leadership. If you are a leader, you should have a guideline to lead by. You cannot be a leader without a law.
There should be something set up.
Yes. That you lead, that you lead by. So
Talking about your goals,
your constitutions, your policy, your article of incorporations. We're going to let them know that you cannot be a leader that will not be equipped with all of these requirements. So we're going to let them know what makes a leader a leader. A leader will be the one that will have regular elections. A leader will be the one that will give chance to other people to carry on their functions. You cannot be a leader
all of the time.
from organizations, then you want to do the public affairs job. You cannot be a leader, then you want to do the secretary job. You don't do everything. You want all that functions. So during that conference, all those things will be explained to them in details. As Kapo said, we have facilitators who understand these areas and to help tutor them.
Now, you talk about also talk about corruption. You talk about maybe building up other institutions, giving up grant. How is that going to be?
Okay. At the conference, at the end of the conference, all of the organizations, that's our pattern.
Okay.
They have in our first project. All of the participating organizations will be asked to present to all a project. And in that project, we have a team that will scrutinize that project to see as to whether who is saying the best. The best three will be selected,
Okay.
and they will be the three organizations that will win the grant. For example, the organization called ABC. ABC went and wrote on corruption as a project, and they tell us how they are prepared to help fight corruption.
Okay.
And based on their presentation, that topic will win. Then we help them to make sure that they fight corruption. You read a project and you're telling us that our organization is engaged in volunteerism. So we're going to make sure that your members volunteer, maybe to carry on activities in the community, go out there to make sure that governmental buildings in your communities are clean, volunteering your services to help make community better, help make the nation better. So depending on what they will present to us, we tell the judges that we go through the projects that this one is the winner. But all that project you want to do is to equip young leaders and their organizations.
Okay, Project Change is to equip young leaders and organizations. This is the dialogue that you always yearn for, is Youth Inside. And today we have us, the leaders of Pro Change, and they are here to tell us their upcoming events. There's a conference, and from the executive director and the founder there, Prince Jebo, who's going to be in country, and he's in the USA, and he's going to be down as well. Other institutions are going to be in helping to meet up the conference, which is slated for February, and we hope to get a specific time. And right now, registration for the conference is ongoing. So we're taking a very short break to be right back.
Hi, I'm Prince Larmin Jarbo, founder of Project Change. As an organization, our mission is to groom self-sustaining youth to help rebuild a productive Liberia. We change the mindsets of the youth from one that says, I cannot, to one that believes I can. We're proud to sponsor the Youth Insight on KMTV presented by Zach Sherman because we also believe in creating a platform for the young people to voice themselves. If you would like to learn more about what we do and how we do it and how you can join the movement, you can find us on Facebook or Instagram at Pro Change in Liberia. Or you can also visit our website at prochangeinliberia.org. That's PROCHANGEIN Liberia. Until next time.
Welcome back. This is Youth Inside with me, Zach Mashiman, your one and only host, and hope to be joined by other guys. And remember that our sponsorship door is still open. You, if interested, you can just get us from my +231 7700 7702. If you want to be a proud sponsor, or you want to be a sponsor as Pro Change has done, you are highly welcome. This is a platform where we all agree as young people to unleash our voices for the better of our society, and we hope that our youth, our generation, our old folks can yield to those positive things that will come forth for requisite decision, requisite policy for young people and the society at large. So coming back, we want to say again, welcome to my guest. You are highly welcome again. This is Youth Insights. So we want to start with you. You want to come up with a kind of a program, especially where female somehow are not seen as people in the front line, and you as a female in this organization, have you been considering the issue of gender equality, especially where in you having a program, you be giving a grant, you be sharing ideas, corruption, leadership, and so forth? Have you considered gender equity as well, or equality?
Yeah, it has been hugely considered. That is why gender equality and violence based on women is one of the topics that will be discussed during the conference. So that is also one of our main focus. That is something that we want to put an end to, the thinking of people that women should be behind. I'm a girl, I should not be out there, I shouldn't be here, or guys should be sitting here talking. So during the conference, whether we have more males than females, we want to create the mindset in the males that are there and the females that women can also make the headlines too. Take our organization for instance, we have more ladies than men there.
You want to give me the numbers?
Well, the ladies we are somewhere around 6 in number, and the guys are 3.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's a very it's very high.
Right.
So that's just how much to tell you that we believe in gender equality.
Now with this conference coming up, is there specific numbers for women leadership? Maybe you want to consider organizations that have women leadership. Is there a specific number you guys have given, or is just a general something?
Well, we did not specify. We only said 3 persons, so we did not say it should be 2 men, 1 woman, or 2 women, 1 man. No, we did not do that.
Okay.
We just left it open.
So, Mr. Jabo, if we come into, incorporating other guys, are there guidelines you people have set up so that people can meet up if they want to be a part of the conference?
Well, when you apply to the conference, when you apply for participation to the conference, there are guidelines that you have to follow. They're there on the website, and I cannot explain all the guidelines here. We have it there. I think Kopu can do that because you have the pamphlet before her. But the guidelines will tell you, because when you achieve those guidelines and you've been accepted, then you are a partner to Project Change, meaning that you are in the welcome for change, meaning that you want to see Liberia change. All that we want to see in Project Change is to make Liberia different, to make Liberia proud of Liberia. The last time I was here, I told you that our primary concern is the North Country. Yeah, and so that mindset.
That's what Pro Change is
all about, to make Liberia feel proud. And let me just emphasize on one of the topics that we'll be looking at the conference. It's the National Building Dialogue Forum. The National Building Dialogue Forum is one of those topics that I would like for the young people to give us their attention to. Just today, before we could start the conversation, we saw protests going on, and in Liberia it became a regular thing. Almost after every 4-5 hours is protest. After every 4-5 hours is protest. People see protests as a way to remedy the issue, and that is not correct.
So why maybe leaders are not adhering to the plight?
No, if leaders are not adhering to your plight,
those are reasons that
what you can do is not to just automatically protest, and that it will not yield anything. Because to protest it should be the last alternative. Yes, we did this, we talked with you, we presented a letter to you, we communicated with you, but still you're not listening to us. That is why we got angry and got in the street.
A lot of young guys come out with saying that they with
so let me just emphasize on the National Building Dialogue
Maybe
Forum.
we'll delve into that.
That forum is intended to encourage young people not to go the protest way. The protest way will scare investors. If somebody were planning to come to Liberia, went to Google Liberia, for them see protesting, they will have second thought. But if the young people will always meet in a forum to discuss their plot and make recommendations to government, that would be a way to solve
a lot
issue.
of recommendations, maybe.
So are you saying that the governor concerned? No. Nobody have shown concern. I'm not speaking as a public relations officer for the government, but let me say what the right belong. The right thing is, I was there that this president, His Excellency George Manuel Weah, had demonstrated law for students than any other president in Liberia. It was George Manuel Weah that gave tuition free to students. It was George Manuel Weah that paid students wire fee.
It sounds like taxpayer money.
Taxpayer money, but that was a passion. That was his passion and left with that. Taxpayer money been there over years. So you can see George Weah now are not being the interest of teacher pay. Someone told me that they had 3 months. They had 3 months for teachers. Government just paid 1 month, but not 2 months. And he protest. So it is politically motivated.
That's what.
So let us leave that. And so the National Building Dialogue Forum will help us not to protest, but to always discuss our issue.
Why you decided to include that specifically in the forum?
Because we are Liberians. We understand what is unfolding.
Especially about young people.
Young people.
We should have protest. I mean,
today, the video you show, you saw any older men there? No. They said whom?
But there are students there and they should be right.
They encouraged them to get in the street. They told them I have an MCSL teacher in my house. We discussed this morning. They sent them in the street to protest on their behalf.
Are you sure the way? Because this is something that
we are Liberians. We love our country. We see what is right. I graduated from one of the High School, and I know what is going on there. I know what they always do.
All right, let's just not dwell into that because you might be going too far.
Yeah, going deep into it. And so
let's look at you also.
But I'm going to emphasize on the National Building Dialogue
where protest
will not be an issue, but the issue of discussing our problem will be a priority.
So, what are those priorities areas you're going to look at? You talked about dialogue. Because dialogue. What kind of a dialogue? Is it concerning? Is it dialogue specifically on protests or dialogue?
No. Dialogues on issue confronting the young people. The young people themselves will go into dialogue to discuss issues confronting them instead of resorting to protests. Because protests, they may get wounded. Protests, they may get killed. We just read on the internet that 2 got killed yesterday in Guinea from protesting. So that is not a way forward for project change. We want us to dialogue.
All right, let's get to our only madam with us on the program today. You listen to what exactly you guys are going to be doing and how you guys are going to spread a message. Maybe not only looking at Montserrat, spreading out because there are other counties interested in the program. Are there other plans? Are you guys reaching out? Maybe reaching out to Grand Bassa, River says. Lofa, I mean, because River is not just Liberia, or Montserrat is not just Liberia. Are you guys having a plan to move upward to other counties?
To include them in the conference?
Yeah, maybe give them that publicity of this is what is going on. You are welcome to be part of the program if you have selected. Have you guys been doing that?
Well, the good part about the stage and age we are in is that technology is available to everyone. So I might not have the power to go to Buchanan and tell somebody, hey, come over for this conference. But most people are on the media. Most of us are on Facebook, and then we have access to the internet.
There are a lot of guys in the rural side.
No, we have been getting response from, like I said earlier, there are organizations that have already applied that are not in Montserrat.
Okay.
Yes. Some of them are in Buchanan, like you said, some of them are in Kanta, Banga, Maigibi, and they have already started applying. So our messages are reaching across.
So that means you guys are anticipating not only people, not Montserrat based,
No, not only
young guys, you
Montserrat,
also look at
yes, people out there, because they are the ones that most people are not focused on. You in Montserrat, you don't know much about what is going on in the rural area.
Okay.
And then we noticed that most organizations here already have the hint, you know, to come up. They have people willing to donate to them. So reaching out to the rural people and then giving them a chance, because they feel like, if I start an organization here, people will not be interested. So reaching out to them and telling them that, hey, there is this organization that is interested in you, come on board. Yeah.
So, Mr. Jabo, if we come into you, this program has a lot of ingredients, I may say, whereas I expect some of my colleagues, some of my young colleagues to benefit educationally, morally, and so forth. You know, coming to this program, whereas you have to have a lot of guys coming on. Have you have a lot of big of backing from other organizations, or it's just only Pro Change that is taking on this initiative?
Well, currently, as I speak to you, it's a fundraising that is ongoing. It will be coming to an end. I will let for a couple to talk a bit about that fundraising because she's following it.
You want to? Okay.
Yeah, no problem. So, one thing about the conference is that you are not paying.
Okay.
You are not registering. We just want you to apply. So there is this difference between applying and registering. When you register, you pay a fee. So we did not say register for the conference. We rather said apply. So you apply. You just fill out the form and then be there for the conference if you are accepted. So there is this fundraising project that is going on for the conference. So we have the link where people go, people who have the hand, they donate towards the conference. So it's not a specific person or a specific organization that is helping Project Change. We are trying to include the general public, let everyone feel that they are involved. Even if it's a penny that you give, at least you know that, yes, I contributed towards this. So the fundraising is ongoing.
So it's just from that issue of fundraising, from the issue of registration. Is that how you guys going to organize the kind of a conference you talked about?
Yes, the money from the fundraising will be used to get equipment, to give stipends to the judges and the guest speakers during the conference. It will be used for food. I mean, you have to provide maybe a little refreshments for the organizations throughout the week. So the fundraising, there are ways that we'll spend the money.
And let me just make some clarity. Thank you, Kopo, for speaking on that fundraising. But if for any reason that our targeted budget for that conference is not realized before the fundraising time expires, Project Change have an alternative. Our chairman of the board of directors, Prince L. Jebo, is someone who has passion for this conference and is willing to finance the conference from his pocket. He's willing to finance the conference from his pocket because he wants to see Liberia get better. So we raising the funds so it cannot appear like one-man show. So we're raising the funds. And thank God for those who are already making contributions. There are people making contributions already. And so we know that we'll be successful. But
contribution from where? Liberia or?
Liberia, you can make contributions, Zach.
I already making my contribution.
Thank you. And so there are people in Liberia making contributions. There are people in the diaspora making contributions.
Okay.
Project Change have a branch. Let's say an office. Our head office is in Los Angeles, California. And we have a country director called Alisa Adam, and she's doing very well with the organization there in the diaspora. And Project Change has been held here by Michael Monday Jebo, and we are making our organization very strong. And whatever we will raise in Liberia and what we will raise in America will be added together to make sure that our conference come 2020 February is successful.
The Ministry of Youth and Sports is an angle of government responsible to really look at issues of young people, leaving no one behind. I think, if not, looking at good number of young people, and you coming up with a Pro Change has been in the area of helping young people develop their minds, give them grants, have seminars and workshops and so forth. Have you been working in line with the Ministry of Youth and Sports when it comes to your own projects?
Well, thank you so much. You know, one thing we would not do is to give the public false information.
Okay.
We are aware that the Ministry of Youth and Sport is doing very well with young people in young organizations. But they will be invited at that conference. We'll invite them at that conference. We'll seek their support because they are the leaders for young people. We seek their support. But we want to demonstrate to the ministry and to the minister, Mr. Zoka Wilson, that Project Change is prepared to help change Liberia. And so they will be invited, and we appreciate their contribution.
Many times you invite leaders, especially whereas they have not known you. Maybe they did not felt your impact so far.
Yeah.
Coming to your program, what's the possibility to that? Maybe you want to invite other guys, other greater youth organization. Maybe you want to invite FLY, the Federation of Liberian Youth. You want to invite the LINSU, Liberian Student Union, and other, big hands youth organization. Maybe for the angle of government and so forth. Do you have a possibility that those top-handed guys are going to come on board on your conference, or are you making efforts?
The issue of turning people down is not in our diction. Yeah, I never see a day that Project Change will turn down by anybody. If Project Change communicate with you, you feel proud.
You're talking like...
Yeah, you feel that you have been selected by Heavenly Father.
So are there people going to come on board?
Yeah, they will come on board.
So how... Okay.
If you have couples, you have the listing of those that we target to communicate with Oxa Project Change. And those new recording is like you saw the listing already. And these are people that we're planning to contact. And when we contact them, they will be present. And KMTV, you bring in their life.
Okay, so other international partners have been in the area of helping young people. I saw a group headed by my own colleague Jutomu Doti from the UNICEF angle. Maybe we want to introduce, want to help, they want to come in, they want to provide ideas and ways forward, maybe funding or moral opportunities. Are you guys reaching out to them as well?
No, the name you call not too long. How you call the name again?
Jutomu Doti. I'll just laying an emphasis or coming back.
We are willing to work with youth organizations.
Okay.
And because of our strength, we said 20.
Okay.
And couple did the mathematics, I think it will be 60 participants. And those participants with the organizations, when the conference ends, some of them will become our partners. We do things together. We work together. Come on, as I speak to you, we have a project ongoing with Christ the King.
Okay.
That was last year project. So 2020, another organizations, this time will be 3 organizations that will be working along with. And so to get people joining you, you got to start.
Ms. Kopusi, do you people have other plans apart from the issue of conference that is slated for February? Do you have other things that you guys are going to be looking at apart from the issue of conference?
Yeah, there are lots and lots of things installed, but the conference is the main objective now because it is the immediate one, right?
Okay.
It is just February, and February is not so long for now.
Right.
So this is not the only thing we have. We have a lot of projects, we have a lot of ways to empower people, but this is just our main focus now.
Right.
Yeah, okay, you asked for something X outside the conference. Yeah, Project Change, we have a way of doing things. When Project Change Liberia have a project, and that project is submitted to Project Change Liberia executive members. Executive members have to accept that project. We submit it to the board of directors. The board have to submit it. Then it becomes our project. So now on hand, Project Change Liberia have a project. That project is called Eat, Study, and Play. Eat, Study, and Play is intended for infants, children from age 3 to age 12. And they will be at Project Change headquarters in Monrovia every school day, where our service provider who are volunteers, we call them in and tutor them with their lesson. No one will be allowed into our fence without the uniform. You will be in your school uniform with your school bag. You will come in there, we have service provider who will tutor you with the lesson you have in your bag. And we are building a network with those students' parents. And so they will come, we will refresh them, and they will eat and play. Okay. So eat, study, and play.
So that means
helping to build them up.
You'll be looking at children.
Children, yeah, from age 3 to age 12.
So when it comes to this issue of conference, where you people are really focusing on, Pro Change is really focusing on, what is actually your expectations, or is actually your goal when you shall have completed this conference that is so important? And I want to believe my own colleagues are
Let me tell you something that's happening now
Mm-hmm.
from Project Change Initiative. When Project Change have the project 2019 on FMCA campus, where Kopo told us along her team that we want to sell stationery materials on our campus that will carry our school STEM. That idea was bought by all students, and today schools are selling materials on their campus bearing the stems because that idea was brought out by Project Change.
Mm-hmm.
So we are coming to change the mindset.
What's the focus after you talk about the mindset? I mean, when you're walking on the streets, especially where the organizations you people have invited or will invite or will be selected, when you're walking on the street, what difference do you want to see those organizations or those leaders in?
What we want to see is I can to I can.
Mm-hmm.
I can make it to I can make it. We don't want people giving up. We don't want people giving up. We want people getting ready to work to bring the change. I think you listen to the advertisement from our chairman of the board of directors, Prince Jabo, that we want young people to take the mantle of power into their hands, to give themselves that change.
To just add up onto that, young people nowadays have this kind of dependency mindsets. If we are not depending on the government, we are either depending or blaming our parents or blaming the society. We are just one way or the other looking for an excuse not to do what we ought to do. So the whole aim of Project Change is to just eradicate that kind of mindset from the young people. I mean, we don't have to depend on foreign aid all the time as a nation to survive. And the survivability of Liberia depends on the young people. The leaders of today might be dead tomorrow. They might be gone. What becomes of Liberia? So if we do not eradicate that kind of mindset from the young people, they will get into power. We will enter the House of Senate and the House of Representatives. Will become ambassadors with the mindset that I don't have anything. I cannot do anything except another country help me. Because that is what I've been told over the time, and it has not been eradicated.
What specifically are you going to be speaking, especially to your colleagues, to your counterparts, your female colleagues in this conference? Because I guess you might have a females coming from organizations. I mean, do you have in your own, mindset or own idea, things that you're going to be saying to women, girls, young women and girls?
Well, the first thing is triple B. Put before boys, put before every other thing. If you want to be a woman or a girl that will be respected amongst people, if you want to go places that even if you are standing with a guy and they tell you sit down and that guy is standing, you have to work for it. Respect is not demanded, it is earned. So if you want to have integrity as a woman, the first thing is book. Obviously, you have to have something up here. It's not about wearing the makeup and wearing the fine clothes, the fancy things, and going in the street. Yes. So my own message to them during the conference, my own message during the conference will be: first of all, put yourself first. Forget about friends and other people. Do something because you want to do it. Do not do it because my friend wants me to do it. Don't be a puppet. Make a decision because you feel like it will benefit you. As a girl, when you have that mindset, you are not carried away by friends, then you are headed for success. Uphold your moral integrity. If you are a Muslim, uphold the principles of Islam. If you are a Christian, uphold those principles. Do not be shy to be who you are around people. Once you become that way, then they turn to make you who they want you to be, because it's just a matter of them saying something and you will become the way they want you to be. So my own message is to them will be: put your book first, uphold your moral standards, and just be you. Don't be anyone else but you.
Just be you. What a clear message. I love that, and I hope you will try to improve and make it more and more. Because just improve, I mean, you kind of are talking something that myself is I'm interested in. I just learned from you. Thank you very much, Mr. Jebo. We are close for time, and we know it's 1 hour youth dialogue, and we talk about young people, and you guys coming up with a conference talking about young people leadership, corruption, how young people can avoid too much corruption. I don't know, just corruption is involved, not just corruption, but protest. They should just avoid protest or too much protest. I don't know.
No, you cannot avoid.
I don't think that was his point
Okay.
when he stressed the protest. Now, the issue of nation building, it depends on every individual. As a young person, when you come up with the mindset of force and violence, it becomes hard for you to grow up. Now, protesting is not a bad thing in totality. You have the right to go there and say what you want for your lawmakers or whoever to hear. Now, but when it becomes a frequent thing, you will notice that during protests, other people who don't have good intent for the country see that protest as a means of causing chaos. Now, who knows? Some of the students that came at the SDA school, they might not have even been amongst the ones that organized the protest. They only did that because they wanted noise. But we are not going to blame them. We are going to blame the organizers of the protest now, because you were the one that organized the protest. So we are not saying you should not protest. Protest for a reasonable reason and have it under control.
So what about those people who are to hear the plight? Because if you are not hearing my plight, I will continue protesting. Do you take consideration?
But there are so many ways to make your voice heard. There are so many ways, and that is why we are encouraging one of the ways, that is through dialoguing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Through dialoguing that grievances can be heard, and the pro change stands for that, to be considering protest in that dialogue comes this conference on February. Let's talk to our country coordinator, pro change, Mr. Jebel. We close for time. Specifically, do you care telling us what do you have in mind for young people with organizations? What do you guys still standing for? And what exactly what exactly the public should be anticipating when it comes to your conference in a short scenario, so that we can leave it?
Well, let's look at the theme of the conference: to equip young leaders and their organizations.
Okay.
To equip young leaders and their organizations by giving them grants. First time in the history of Liberia. If somebody did it before, then I put a finger up and tell when and how it happened.
Maybe you know.
Yeah, I challenge it. So Project Change is prepared to equip young leaders and their organizations in many ways. One, it will be interactive. You will tell us what you want to do and how you want to do it. We're going to help you to achieve it. We're not going to do it for you. In that way, your aims or objective for which you organize the organization will be achieved. Then you yourself will have a history that, yes, I organized this group to achieve this goal. Yes, indeed, with the help of Project Change. Let me make some clarity. Project Change is part of an organization that you don't know. Project Change is a part of an organization called the Prince L. Jebo Foundation. That foundation is the one that is going to finance this project. The Prince L. Jebo Foundation is organizations that bring in more organizations to help make Liberia better. So one of the organizations that you know about that you're interacting with now is Project Change. You will see many organizations being sponsored under this foundation. So I'm saying this to say that those 20 organizations we're working with, some of them will become our partner, and in becoming our partner, they will receive grants, they will receive sponsorship from the Prince L. Jebo Foundation Incorporated. That foundation will help to make youth organizations in Liberia part of them and make them strong to achieve their goal. I'm one of those persons who funded a lot of organizations. No support. Sometimes they see us as bag carriers. Oh, you carry your bags around?
And we just press the time, so
So this time around, Project Change, with the support from the Prince L. Jabo Foundation, we are going to empower, strengthen, equip, and protect youth organizations to make them strong.
What's the message from quickly to young people?
What my message for young people is, I want them to be encouraged and to go and Google Pro Change in Liberia website. It's prochangeinliberia.org. Okay. And let them be part of that workshop. Let them challenge us. Let them say we were 100 organizations that apply. Why you are accepting 30 and dropping 80? Let us be cohesed to increase it from 20 to 25. So I want for youth organizations.
You don't want to 20 to 50.
Yeah, I defined it. And so to close up is that I want them to see this as the opportunity. If I give you a gist of what the grant going to be,
no, you don't.
My brother, the internet will be flowing with applications, but it's something good in the pipeline.
Okay.
Yeah. If you have an organization, Zach, I want you to apply. Because your organizations will get strengthened.
You've inside also an organization, I mean.
Yeah, you've inside. Come on with your project. Apply. And we will sponsor you. And we always sponsor you already.
Okay. I really appreciate that.
Thank you so
much. It was
much.
a great time of coming to Youth Inside. Let's hear from our public affairs officer. Manasile, you want to tell us what's exactly, how can people link to the application link? How can they apply? And what are those mechanisms you guys are going to set up? Are you guys not going to be partial? Because something is another area of life. Someone says it's a little bit of custom in our lifestyle. I mean, we are passionate, partial in doing things. How you guys are going to be doing that? You can in your party statement.
Well,
can you tell us
the selection process is going to be fair, right? It's going to be totally fair, because these are all mindsets that we aim to erase. The mindset that if I apply for a job and if I don't know anyone there, I won't get the job. These are all things that we as young people think that is why we don't work towards getting our own good. So there are ways and mechanisms we have put into place that will select the best 20 out of as many applications that we have. We have essays, we have questions that you have to answer when you are applying. So that could be one way. Based on your responses to the questions that we ask and how well you put forth your idea, you could get selected. So I will caution them to take their time in going through the application and know that what I'm applying for, I'm not the only person I could get selected or not. Applying for the conference does not mean that you are automatically going to be a part. Applying is just step one. Getting accepted is step two. So after the application process, we'll send out emails to the organizations that have gotten selected.
You didn't tell us the link. And another question quickly, do you guys have in your own line maybe how the guys are going to do it and they issue the expectations after applying? Firstly, the link, how are they going to get contact with how they can apply?
Well, the link is available on our website, on our Instagram page, and on our Facebook page. On Facebook, we are just Project Change. Instagram is Pro Change in Liberia. Okay, the Project Change is PROJECT. You leave space, the change is capital CHANGE. That's for Facebook. For Instagram, is Pro Change in Liberia. It's PROCHANGEINLIBERI, all changed together. The website is ProChange, www.prochange.org. So you go on the website, you will see the application there for the conference. You go on our Facebook page, the application is also available, and also on our Instagram page.
All right, it was a great time having you on our program today. As a first sponsor to Youth Inside, Mr. Michael Jebo. Again, you are, should I say, what? You want me, mommy?
Yeah, tell me that. I pray you'll be successful.
Okay, thank you very much. And I wish you that you guys come up with the best of fruitfulness you desire. Again, Manasile, thanks for being on our program, and we hope that you guys can come whatever you want.
No problem.
All right, they have been leaders of Pro Change, and Pro Change is a young a youth-based organization evolving to providing mentorship, leadership, ability, the issue of happen dialogue, and they have a conference slated for February. And this conference is going to look at a lot of issues, and we hope that you guys can take advantage of the opportunity and make use of it, apply, and who knows, you might be one of those selected organizations or leaders to be part of the dialogue, which I know and I think has or will have a positive impact on the lives of young people. But again, I want to go back to the issue of today. I would not want to commend the government for the step taken, especially to the response where we saw, police touching on students after they've gone to relay or give out their grievances to the government, specifically to President George. I want to believe that the president should have seen the need to talk at least 2 or 3 minutes to those students, what you have in place, or any of the government officials. But it was the other way around. And for me, for my own end, I want to believe, and that's something that we really wish to have seen. We wish to have seen a kind of a dialogue between students and President George Weah and all the leaders of the Ministry of Education as well. And to the students, we want to frown on your action today, where you went to invade other private schools, destroy other private schools, choking stones, and causing a lot of damages. As something that wasn't that confirmative to the reality of being a student. If you have a grievance, if you go there and your grievances are not being heard, I want to believe you can stick to that, keep to the area. Maybe in time to come, your grievances are going to be heard. Who knows? Other officials are going to come out and hear from you, and you got to provide. And to the government, you have to pay teachers, because the teachers cannot be in the vineyard of teaching and you are not giving back to them. They need to be paid. They need to teach, and to do that, you got to encourage them. So if we don't speak to these things, I mean, it's something that we know that if it is not happening, it will affect our educational system, and that which we will never want to see. So I'm not want to close up on that and to say thanks for being there wherever you've been. This is KMTV Youth Inside. My name is Zach Totiame Sherman. I want to bless you with a beautiful, wonderful Tuesday, and hope to join you next Tuesday for another brand new edition of Youth Inside. Until then, again, I'm Zach Totiame Sherman, your presenter. Thanks for being there.
Hi, I'm Prince Larmin Jarbo, founder of Project Change. As an organization, our mission is to groom self-sustaining youth to help rebuild a productive Liberia. We change the mindsets of the youth from one that says, I cannot, to one that believes I can. We're proud to sponsor the Youth Insight on KMTV, presented by Zach Sherman, because we also believe in creating a platform for the young people to voice themselves. If you would like to learn more about what we do and how we do it, and how you can join the movement, you can find us on Facebook or Instagram at Pro Change in Liberia. Or you can also visit our website at prochangeInLiberia.org. That's PROCHANGEIN Liberia. Until next time, enjoy the show.
With the rising numbers, young people around the world are vital to the transformation of society. Of course, they are direct architects to the very uniqueness we need. But what is the way forward in reducing some of the challenges